Hey, Panda family. So, this is Miss Jeremiah, and we're back for another reading from Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein. Feeling a lot of gratitude toward the author who has given permission for people to record themselves reading his work. So, thank you very much, Mr. Grabenstein. And let's remember that in chapter 1, we have been introduced to three brothers, Mike, Kyle, and Curtis Keeley. Kyle is the youngest brother, and he and his brothers have been playing one of their favorite board games called Mr. Lemoncello's Indoor Outdoor Scavenger Hunt. And a result of that scavenger hunt and the boys playing is that they broke a window in their house, and Kyle is having to face the consequence of that by having 50 cents deducted from his allowance for the rest of the year, and he's been grounded for a week. But the fun, the excitement, the games are just beginning, and let's continue with chapter 2. Halfway across town, Dr. Yanina Zinchenko, the world famous librarian, was walking briskly through the cavernous building that was only days away from its gala grand opening. Alexandriaville's new public library had been under construction for 5 years. All work had been done with the utmost secrecy under the tightest possible security. One crew did the exterior renovations on what had once been the small Ohio city's most magnificent building, the Gold Leaf Bank. Other crews, carpenters, masons, electricians, and plumbers, worked on the interior. No single construction crew stayed on the job longer than 6 weeks. No crew knew what any of the other crews had done or would be doing. And when all those crews were finished, several super secret covert crews, highly paid workers who would deny ever having been near the library, Alexandriaville, or the state of Ohio, stealthily applied the final touches. Dr. Zinchenko had supervised the construction project for her employer, a very eccentric, some would say loony, billionaire. Only she knew all the marvels and wonders the incredible new library would hold and hide within its walls. Dr. Zinchenko was a tall woman with blazing red hair. She wore an expensive, custom-tailored business suit, jazzy high-heeled shoes, a Bluetooth earpiece, and glasses with thick red frames. Heels clicking on the marble floor, fingers tapping on the glass of her very advanced tablet computer, Dr. Zinchenko strode past the control center's red door, under an arch, and into the breathtakingly large, circular reading room beneath the library's 3-story tall rotunda. The bank building, which provided the shell for the new library, had been built in 1931. With towering Corinthian columns, an arched entryway, lots of fancy trim, and a mammoth shimmering gold dome, the building looked like it belonged next door to the triumphant memorials in Washington, D.C., not on this small Ohio town's quaint streets. Dr. Zinchenko paused to stare up at the library's most stunning visual effect, the Wonder Dome. 10 wedge-shaped, high-definition video screens, as brilliant as those in Times Square, lined the underbelly of the dome like so many orange slices. Each screen could operate independently or as part of a spectacular whole. The Wonder Dome could become the constellations of the night sky, a flight through the clouds that made viewers below sense that the whole building had somehow lifted off the ground, or in Dewey Decimal mode, 10 sections depicting vibrant and constantly changing images associated with each category in the library cataloging system. I have the final numbers for the fourth sector of the Wonder Dome in Dewey mode, Dr. Zinchenko said into her Bluetooth earpiece. 364.1092. She carefully over-enunciated each word to make certain the video artist knew what specific numbers should occasionally drift across the fourth wedge amid the swirling social sciences montage featuring a floating judge's gavel, a tumbling teacher's apple, and a gentle snowfall of holiday icons. The numbers, however, should not appear until 11 a.m. Sunday. Is that clear? Yes, Dr. Zinchenko, replied the tinny voice in her ear. Next, Dr. Zinchenko studied the holographic statues projected into black, crepe-lined recesses cut into the massive stone piers that supported the arched windows from which the Wonder Dome rose. Why are Shakespeare and Dickens still here? They're not on the list for opening night. Sorry, replied the library director of holographic imagery, who was also on the conference call. I'll fix it. Thank you. Exiting the rotunda, the librarian entered the children's room. It was dim, with only a few work lights glowing, but Dr. Zinchenko had memorized the layout of the miniature tables and was able to march without bumping her shins to the story corner for a final check on her recently installed geese. The flock of 6 audio animatronic goslings, fluffy robots with ping-pongish eyeballs, created for the new library by Imagineers who used to work at Disney World, stood perched atop an angled bookcase in the corner. Mother Goose, in her bonnet and granny glasses, was frozen in the center. This is Librarian One, said Dr. Zinchenko, loud enough for the microphones hidden in the ceiling to pick up her voice. Initiate storytime sequence. The geese sprang to mechanical life. Nursery rhyme. And the geese honked out Baa Baa Black Sheep in 6-part harmony. Treasure Island. The birds yo-ho-hoed their way through 15 men on a dead man's chest. Dr. Zinchenko clapped her hands. The rollicking geese stopped singing and swaying. One more, she said, squinting. She saw a book sitting on a nearby table. Walter the farting dog. The 6 geese spun around and farted till their tail feathers flipping up in sync with the noisy blasts. Excellent. End story time. The geese slumped back into their sleep mode. Dr. Zinchenko made one more tick on her computer tablet. Her final punch list was growing shorter and shorter, which was a good thing. The library's grand opening was set for Friday night. Dr. Z and her army of associates had only a few days left to smooth out any kinks in the library's complex operating system. Suddenly, Dr. Zinchenko heard a low, rumbling sound. Turning around, she was eyeball to icy blue eyeball with a very rare white tiger. Dr. Zinchenko sighed and touched her Bluetooth earpiece. Miss G, this is Dr. Z. What is our white Bengal tiger doing in the children's department? I see. Apparently there was a slight misunderstanding. We do not want him permanently positioned near the Jungle Book. Check the call number, 599.757. Right. He should be in zoology. Yes, please, right away. Thank you, Miss G. And like a vanishing mirage, the tiger disappeared. And with that, we have concluded chapter 2. We'll be reading chapter 3. Feel free to leave any questions or comments in the comments section, reply back. And Panda Friends, if you're looking for a little something extra to do, please draw me something from this chapter. If you can imagine what this new library actually looks like based on the author's description, draw a picture of part of the library. All right, keep in touch, pandas. Keep it pawsome.